Okay, everyone, hello and welcome back. It's great to see you all on a nice day like this. Today, I have something else to show you. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but maybe you can help me identify it. Take a look. It's very small. It looks like a tiny skull. I'm not sure. It kind of looks like a little aggressive character. Maybe it's a rat or a mouse? I honestly don't know. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments. You're usually pretty sharp. Let's read some Reddit posts. I, 28 male, was manipulated into cheating on my wife, 28 female. How do we move forward in our marriage? I don't even know what to say. Let's read it. Hey Reddit, I'm going through a difficult time in my marriage. It all began when I recently fell into a depression. My wife and I both work very demanding jobs. I was assigned a new project that required long hours, and that's when my depression started. While dealing with this mental state, I began opening up to a coworker about how I was feeling. I believed I could trust her as a friend, but I was vulnerable, and she took advantage of that. This eventually led to an affair. I couldn't stop myself. She was very attractive, and I wasn't in a good mental place. My wife found out, and we're starting counseling on Monday. Honestly, the fact that she's still willing to attend counseling is surprising. At this point, the marriage is clearly unstable. He says he's been trying to explain his depression and poor mental health to his wife, but she doesn't want to hear it. And honestly, that reaction makes sense. Depression is a serious issue, and it deserves understanding. However, using it as a justification for cheating or shifting responsibility because of vulnerability, especially as an adult, is unacceptable. According to this logic, the coworkers somehow magically manipulated him into an affair, as if he had no agency. Everything is placed on the so-called homewrecker. This post is honestly embarrassing. He's trying very hard to frame himself as the victim here. There's no nuance needed. His behavior is wrong. His wife would be justified in leaving, and he should seek individual therapy on his own. There's nothing more to add. Let's move on. I pretended to have a vasectomy. 2 years later, my wife is pregnant. Immediately, this is a serious issue. Let's read. I'm facing a terrible dilemma, and I'm so deep into it that I don't know what to do. My wife and I have been married for 9 years and have 2 children. We weren't planning to have more. My wife was very firm about that, but I wanted at least 5 kids. She wanted 1 or none. That doesn't change the fact that she's a great mother, it's simply her preference. Considering she would be the one carrying pregnancies for 9 months each time, it's understandable why she wouldn't want more children. Before marriage, we somewhat compromised on having 2 or 3 kids. I was set on 3, but she didn't want any more. At this point, compatibility is the real issue. Wanting different family sizes is a major conflict, and ignoring it doesn't make it disappear. 5 years after our first 2 children, she insisted that I get a vasectomy. I wasn't comfortable with it and initially refused, but it became the main source of our arguments. We dated for 5 years before marriage and had been together for 12 years at that time. I didn't want to end the relationship, especially since we had children, so after months of conflict, I agreed. Now, fast forward to today. My wife is pregnant. 2 years ago, I pretended to have the procedure done. I told her someone accompanied me to the appointment and I took a week off work to make it believable. I also claimed to be recovering. That lie alone is severe enough to destroy trust. During intimacy, I tried to be cautious, but it clearly failed. When she became pregnant, I told her the vasectomy must have failed, instead of admitting the truth. Now she's angry and has scheduled appointments with lawyers to sue the medical practice that supposedly performed the surgery. If records are reviewed, it will be clear that the procedure never happened. At this point, the situation has been built entirely on deception. One lie has led to another, and now everything is collapsing under its own weight.
Lies, and then it jumps straight into this. Now my wife is also considering having an abortion, but I'm trying to persuade her to let this go. If anything, this child is a miracle. No, this isn't a miracle. You knowingly got her pregnant when she explicitly did not want a child, and you guaranteed that outcome by agreeing to a vasectomy you never had. You didn't need to lie. You could have simply refused a procedure. You have bodily autonomy. just as she has autonomy over her own body. Lying was the problem here. That's what makes this unacceptable. So now he asks, what should I do? If I tell her the truth, she'll leave me. I don't want to lose her. She's the love of my life. I don't know what I'd do without her. I know this is my fault, but please tell me how to fix this. The answer is simple. You tell the truth, she likely leaves, and you still remain responsible for the children you already have. After that, you're free to pursue the large family you want with someone else, hopefully without lying to them. That's the reality. Just tell her the truth. That's it. The first comment says, okay, but it's funny how someone in the comments thinks a vasectomy means they remove everything, like neutering a dog, and the wife should have noticed it was still there. Yes, that much is obvious. A vasectomy doesn't remove anything physically visible. Another comment says, that's not a miracle child. And that's accurate. If anything, it's surprising she didn't become pregnant sooner. I don't need to read more comments. This is an awful situation created entirely by dishonesty. I feel genuinely bad for that woman. Now let's move on. Am I the A for punishing my daughter for not coming to my wedding? So far, that sounds manageable. Let's read. I got married last weekend at my parents' home, which has been in our family for generations. For health reasons, only immediate family attended. My daughter, 16 female, has been calling her new stepmother, 21 female, names like homewrecker and prostitute. I've been patient with her. He says his daughter believes he left her late mother because she had breast cancer. He claims that isn't true, and to be clear, no one chooses to be sick. However, this story does not improve from here. He says his late wife used her illness to belittle him and his identity, criticized how he cared for her, and even commented on his hygiene and the cologne he wore. He claims she made him feel worthless and projected her insecurities, stating she disliked his scent because she no longer took care of herself. He admits that at times he found her objectively disgusting, but says he stayed until his self-esteem was destroyed. Apparently, disliking his cologne was enough to damage his self-worth. That alone raises questions. He continues by saying he worked hard, succeeded professionally, and was praised at work, but went home to constant criticism. Then he says he met his daughter's stepmother during a dark period in his life. She made him feel like himself again, while his wife made him feel unattractive and unwanted. With his new partner, he felt alive. Meanwhile, his wife was dying. Context matters here. He says feeling appreciated and having physical chemistry made him want to provide for this new woman, and that's when he decided to stop being intimate with his wife and filed for divorce. He claims his daughter's maternal relatives have since turned her against him. On the wedding day, he and his new wife arrived early, expecting his daughter to come later. Instead, she stayed with her aunt. Family members were confused, and there was panic trying to locate her. As punishment, he took away her car, allowance, and phone until he feels she can be respectful towards someone he loves. He also says this won't happen if she continues contact with her late mother's side of the family. His parents believe he's being too harsh. He argues that even during difficult times, he can't allow his child to do whatever she wants. Then he asks, am I the A for punishing my daughter for being upset that I left her mother while she was dying of cancer, moved on to someone new, and still expected her to attend the wedding like nothing was wrong? Yes. Now, to briefly play devil's advocate, no one deserves to be constantly demeaned or made to feel worthless. That matters. However, the way this story is told feels exaggerated, selective, and poorly justified. Some complaints are vague, others are oddly specific, and none of it convincingly explains his choices. Personally, I don't find his explanation believable. Let me know your thoughts. I'm open to discussion, but I'm not convinced. Also, this was posted in Am I the Devil? So that says something. Let's check the comments. One comment quotes him saying, I objectively found my late wife disgusting sometimes. The response simply says, Jesus Christ. Fair reaction. Another comment says, why doesn't my daughter like me? I only called her mother disgusting while she was dying of cancer. I don't see the problem. And then there's the age gap. His new wife is only 5 years older than his daughter. She's 21. Somehow that detail slipped by at first, but yes, there it is. That alone explains a lot.
If I was 16 and my father left my dying mother just to marry a 21-year-old and then expected me to attend the wedding and call her my stepmother, no, absolutely not. That would not be happening. Obviously, I wouldn't react violently, but you understand the point. The expectation alone is unreasonable. This is genuinely disturbing behavior. Some of these people show a shocking lack of self-awareness. Let's turn off the devil's advocate for a moment. I somehow missed the detail about her being 21 at first. That alone changes everything. Another comment says, she criticized his hygiene and cologne. Chemotherapy often makes people extremely sensitive to smells, and this man probably smelled unbearable. I hope his daughter cuts contact with him. That's a fair observation. This absolutely happens. I've seen it firsthand with family members undergoing treatment. They become nauseous very easily. That poor woman. Honestly, good for the daughter. If anything, she's protecting herself. At some point, you just walk away. His behavior is selfish and harmful. All right, I need to move on. I don't like this one at all. Let me know what you think. Let's continue. Am I the yay-ho for not thinking the joke my family played on my girlfriend was a big deal? Brace yourselves. I, 25 female, have a girlfriend, 23 female, who is very attractive, but she does have a noticeable facial scar. My family often jokes about it. There's a difference between dark humor and being cruel. This already sounds like the latter. The girlfriend says it bothers her and doesn't feel like a joke. Instead, it feels like an insult disguised as humor. That's important. When someone tells you they're uncomfortable, that should be the end of it. Even after explaining that it's just how my family is and that they don't mean harm, she still didn't want to be around them. That's understandable. No one wants to be repeatedly mocked over something personal. The poster explains that it was important to spend Christmas with her family. This was during COVID, so they quarantined and tested beforehand. The girlfriend resisted at first, but eventually agreed. She made one thing clear. If her family made a rude comment, she would not excuse it. When they arrived, everything was fine initially. Then her mother and sister came out wearing matching ugly sweaters with the girlfriend's face printed all over them. They laughed and explained it was a joke and that the sweaters were screen printed just for this. The father found it funny. The poster even laughed a little, saying it was ironic because her girlfriend is beautiful. When her girlfriend looked at her and she doubled down on the ironic joke explanation, the girlfriend stood up, said nothing, left, got into her car, and drove away. She didn't answer any calls. The only message she sent was, "You need to find your own way home." That response made the poster angry. Meanwhile, her mother was upset, saying it was just a joke and she didn't expect such a reaction. The poster said a warning would have been nice, but her sister insisted that it was harmless and claimed the girlfriend was overreacting. When the poster got home, another argument followed. The girlfriend said she was wrong for putting her in that situation and for not standing up for her. The poster defended her family again, saying she didn't expect them to do that and that the joke was ironic because her girlfriend is attractive. The girlfriend explained that the issue wasn't irony, it was humiliation. She said the poster allowed her family to treat her badly and then blamed her for reacting. The poster replied that it was just a joke and that she was overreacting. She apologized but added that the girlfriend ruined the day with her reaction. The girlfriend responded, no, the day was ruined when they realized she wasn't going to tolerate disrespect anymore. They aren't currently speaking. Later, a cousin called to wish the poster a Merry Christmas. After hearing what happened, he directly told her she was in the wrong. That says a lot. Despite all of this, the poster still claims she didn't do anything wrong. She insists it was just a joke, that she didn't know it would happen, and that her girlfriend overreacted. She asks if she's really the problem. Yes, she is. This behavior shows a complete failure to protect a partner from open disrespect. Her girlfriend deserved support in that moment and didn't get it. These posts are genuinely upsetting. It's hard to believe people think this way, but here we are. Let me know what you think about these stories. I find them disturbing, frustrating, and honestly exhausting.
Thankfully, most of you don't think like this. I believe that. All right, I'm going to step away and take a walk.